Alrighty, we should be live. Welcome to My the Asshole podcast. Let's get into it. Today is the live show. Let's go. Right now, we probably have nobody in here right now, and that's all good. We'll probably get people in here as the show goes. But to keep the recording going, we're going to go ahead and get into the scenario. All right, teachers of Reddit. Have you ever had a student try to seduce you? What happened? All right. So let's check this out. I was regularly subbing in a pre-K classroom a while back. We were lining up after recess one day when a tiny round boy from the class popped up beside me and slid his hand into mine. I looked down and said, "Hi, Felix." And he looked up in my eyes and said, so sweetly, "Miss Taco Tonic, when I give you a ring and when we get married, me, you, and mommy and daddy will live together in McDonald's forever." All right. I mean, okay. All right. Yeah, no, that would probably be the weirdest thing ever as a teacher to experience. A little kid is just looking up at you. I mean, what do you say to a little kid that's just like, "Oh, we're going to live forever in McDonald's"? Like, there's not much you can really say to something like that. All right. Let's see. Our next scenario. I teach high school kids. I'm younger compared to most other teachers at my school. I get loads of cheeky comments/questions. The best one was, "Miss, I can't come to the detention you sent me on Wednesday. I can do Friday, though, my place." Okay. He said, "Hey, yo, teacher, I can't do the detention at school. We could do it at my spot, though. I got you, baby. And me and you." Some of these kids, they're a little bold. These kids are a little bold. For you guys joining, this is this thread is called Teachers of Reddit. Have you ever had a student try to seduce you? So these are teachers and their students are trying to seduce them in some way. All right. I was a graduate teaching assistant and I was meeting with an undergraduate student about a poor test grade, which wasn't uncommon as the professor often let students improve test grades. She came in wearing a tracksuit, the kind you might wear to the gym. Not so much anything else that required modesty. The top was unzipped, displaying her impressive breasts, Jesus Christ, bro, which were clearly meant to be on display. She stated she was willing to do anything to improve her grades. Damn, she's out here trying to, she's trying to get you to catch a case. For one brief, glorious moment, a multitude of scenarios ran through my mind. After that one brief, glorious moment, I walked out of my office and into the professor's office without saying a word. I don't know if she was seriously offering what I thought she was, or if she was just expressing herself poorly and I had just come from the gym. I was in my third year of law school and I wasn't going to find out. God damn. He was tempted. He was tempted. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was tempted. He sat there and saw this girl and was just like, her impressive breasts. Jesus. Did she just come from where I thought she'd come from? My goodness. And then he snapped back into it. Thank God he didn't need post-nut clarity to stop from doing what he thought he was going to do. Like, let's just be honest. Oh, all right. We have a lot more of you joining. It is the thread we're going through is, have you ever had a student try to seduce you? All right. So that's the thread that we're going to. I see a lot of people joining in right now. Let's see. This is my father's story, so probably couldn't happen now like it did in the 70s, but at my father's high school graduation, the entire class knew one of the students that had a crush, a female, on the teacher. She had skipped a few grades and become a teacher early, so she was about 6 years older than him. Yeah. At the graduation ceremony, the teachers were all lined up to shake each student's hand. This particular student went across shaking their hands and planted a hand on each cheek and full mouth kissed the teacher on which he had a crush. So he's graduating and he walks in, or he's walking across the stage shaking on the teacher's hand, and he was just like, "You baby girl, you bolts to get it." Just imagine, like, you're at your graduation or you're watching like your friend's kid graduate or something like that, and then you see the kid walk across, shake all the teachers' hands, and then one particular teacher at the end, he just grabs her, pulls her in, and just, like, how awkward would that be? Oh, he said it was considered a joke and everyone laughed as he received a light slap for the prank. Today the two are married with 3 children. Wow. Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting that twist. That is a little wild, if I'm being honest with you. Just at the fact that he met his wife at the fact that he was graduating, pulled her in for a kiss, they slapped, and then they got married? Okay. All right then. All right. We got a lot of new people joining. So like I said, for the thread, it's teachers, what did you try to do when a student was seducing you? Is the thread we're going over right now. All right, so I'm a substitute teacher. I had a second grader put her chin on the desk with her hands on her cheeks, letting out a huge sigh with the phrase of, "Mr. M, you are the man of my dreams." You know, that's okay. How can a second grader sit there and be like, "You're the man of my dreams. I love you"? It's like, okay, now can you go sit down, please? Because you're way too young to be thinking about love. Like back when I was in second grade, man, I was all about recess, crackers, candy, and fucking playing. Nowadays, it's like, oh, I want love and a relationship and to get married. And it's like, you are 5. Stop. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. I feel like teachers have a lot to go through nowadays, especially, I guess, if you're considered an attractive teacher, with little boys kissing you and talking about we're going to live in McDonald's forever. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm fairly young and teach middle schoolers. So the most that's ever happened is me catching them looking at my butt when I'm writing on the board, or trying to look down my shirt when I help them with a math problem. She's over here bent over like, "Oh, this is how you do that." And he's like, "Oh shit, I'm trying to see some titties." These middle school kids are wild. They're over here trying to see something. They're just like, oh, I'm trying to see something. Man, it's really awkward for me, but I know that they're in an awkward stage, so I don't call them out. Usually after I catch them, they look away quickly and don't do it again. Oh my God. These are little pervio middle schoolers. Oh, you're trying to catch a peek at the teacher, man. Oh my goodness. All right. A girl once took my phone and put it between her breasts. I didn't know how to respond. I was merely an intern. Same girl put cute as equivalent of my teaching. So she took the teacher's phone and then was just like, "Come and get it. Come and get it. Why don't you?" Like, ma'am, we can't do that. You're 15. Stop. Because the rest of it says, a friend had it worse. A girl went completely crazy over him. She started crying and shit, explicitly told him she wanted to have sex with him. Wow, oh God. He tried to calm her down and talk to her. Stop crying. Didn't work. He had to get the principal involved. Wow. Imagine needing to go to the principal and be like, "Hey, look, yeah, there's this girl. She's 15 and she's crying about how she wants to, do the ting with me, and I ain't about it. I can't do it. She's trying to do the ting. I don't want to do the ting, That is, Wow, that's kind of scary, man. Ay, 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 that is kind of scary. Oh my goodness. Jesus. All right, my wife is a preschool teacher, and one of her students tried humping her leg. Okay. They out here doing that in preschool. She out here getting humped by preschoolers. I will never understand kids nowadays. When, like I said, when I was in preschool, and maybe when you guys were in preschool, it was about the same. Where it's like, hey, yeah, I was worried about colors and shapes and shit like that. I wasn't worried about this whole humping business and love and all this. Like, kids are a little wild nowadays. I ain't gonna lie to you. My goodness. It must be really hard out here to be a teacher. Shit. All right. Student taught me in middle school band. And after a few months, one of the clarinet players broke out of a pack of giggling girls and asked if I had a girlfriend and what my favorite thing to do on a date was. These are middle school kids out here talking about, what do you like to do? Do you have a girlfriend? What do you do on a date? Like, Susie, I'm here to teach you band, not to tell you about my dating life. She was so visibly nervous, I felt bad for her, giving me some flashbacks of an incredible awkwardness at that age. My goodness. These teachers are just ducking and dodging cases. They are like, nope, like, how do you navigate that? It's like Johnny in class, go with him, like him, talk to him about that. Not me. Don't talk to me about this, because I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know about, all that. I can't navigate. Like, that's something you talk about with your parents, I'm guessing. My goodness. Okay. Let's see. I teach elementary school, so I've never had a student seriously try to seduce me, but I'm a woman in my early 20s, and sometimes a boy in my class will have a crush on me, and it will be hilariously obvious. A fifth grader once wanted to ask me if I had a boyfriend, but he had his friend do it instead. He was so embarrassed. Yo, that's a real friend right there. Yeah, that's a real ass friend right there. He was like, yo, bro, yeah, I really like the teacher. So can you go like ask her if she got a boyfriend or something, Just let me know. And then to be in middle school and to be like that brazen, you walk up in there and you're just like, hey, excuse me, miss so-and-so. Do you have a boyfriend? Because Mark wants to know if you have a boyfriend. Mark wants to know. And he's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't give you that kind of information. But, thanks for trying. And he's like, Mark, I don't know. I tried, man. I tried. Like, these kids, these kids. Oh, no, they're in elementary school. Oh, wow. Okay, I thought they were in middle school, but no, they're in elementary school. All right. Yeah. Okay. On to the next situation. Oh man, this one's a bit long. All right, let's get through it. It seems like seduction implies some kind of skill, so I wouldn't go that far, but I taught 12th grade English. I had one student who seemed to just really like me. He would do things like show up before class with a coffee for me. Whenever he would make a sexual joke to another student, he would glance at me and say, right, Miss T? Then he started writing really explicit things in his class journal about an older woman he wanted to do things to. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. I never commented. When he asked if I read it, I would say, yep, and that was that. It kind of came to a head when he was about to turn 18 and invited me to his birthday party. Wow, that's fucking awkward. Man. What am I doing? I'm going through a thread on Reddit that's called Teachers did you ever have a student try to seduce you or hit on you? So these are stories of teachers who've had students that try to seduce them or try to hit on them in some way. So that's what we're going through. And this teacher, she was teaching 12th grade, and there was a boy that was like all into him, you know. And when he turned 18, he invited her to his birthday party. That's a little weird. And he said it was supposedly at a local strip club, and he didn't know. I knew that when he told me the name of the place, he kept saying, "Come on, Miss T, you're the only one I really want to be with." He kept going on and on about it during class, so I finally said he needed to stay with me after class. Retrospectively, I hope he didn't get the wrong idea. Yeah, because you could be like, hey, stay after class. And he's just like, oh, she wants the D after class. Let's go. Oh, my God. Let's see. So he stayed after class. And I said, Brian, you're a great student and you're fun and smart, but I am your teacher. And I could get my ass fired if any rumors popped up about me being inappropriate with a student. Don't get me fired, okay? He took it seriously, though. The whole next year until prom, when he came to class in a tux with a flat. This nigga asked his teacher to prom, bro. First off, he was like making sexual jokes to his teacher. Then he was saying that, I'm turning 18, so come to my birthday party. And then he's like, all right, I won't get you fired. I got you. I won't get you fired. But how about you go to prom with me? This man got a whole tux. He went ahead and walked in there and was just like, yo, go to prom with me. That is crazy. My goodness. Hopefully she said no. I don't know. All right, let's see. This suave bro in 10th grade was like, hey, miss, do you want a kiss? So he asked his teacher, hey, miss, do you want a kiss? And offered me a Hershey kiss from a bag of chocolate. And I was like, no candy in the classroom. So he said, how about a date? This motherfucker thought he was smooth. This kid legitimately had a bag of kisses and a bag of dates with him. This motherfucker, he thought he was being smooth. He really thought he was being smooth. Teachers out here, man, they got it hard. They got it hard because it's like, what do you say to these kids, man? And then do you have to kind of report that to the teachers? I wonder, or I mean, not the teachers. I'm sorry, to the parents. Like, would you say that to the parents? Would you be like, hey, your kid kind of asked me out on a date. Your kid kind of asked me, he's been saying some inappropriate shit. Like, that must be an awkward conversation with, like, the parents, to be a teacher and to have to sit there and be like, hey, yeah, your student, said he wants to do stuff to me. Like, ay. All right. Let's see. All right. Again, this thread is teachers. Has a student ever tried to seduce you? I teach middle school, so I have a few boys with crushes. One boy would use his lunch money and buy me a cup of coffee and bring it to me. He had to call home, and it was funny/awkward parent conversation. Another boy would always tell me his teachers had lessons. I'm a music teacher, and come down to see if I needed help. Again, had to send him back and talk to his parents. The most awkward and uncomfortable one was this boy viola player, Steven. He would compliment me and always play or would always say borderline inappropriate things. I talked to guidance, but I was one of the few teachers that could get him to do anything. So they would ask me to try and mentor him. I called home, but no parents were around, just grandparents who only spoke Spanish. Then he started trying to put his arm around me and be uncomfortably close to me. He had to go to the guidance counselor again and get them involved because it was bad. He couldn't switch classes because I'm the only orchestra teacher, and he was quite a good player. All right. So long story short, he pretty much just was he was trying to get at his orchestra teacher. She couldn't get any help because the guidance was just like, well, I mean, kids gonna be kids. And then she's like, no, you don't understand what's fucking going on. Like, this kid out here trying to seduce his teacher. And then, she called home and all they spoke was Spanish. So she was just like, God damn, there's no help around here. Like, what am I going to do? Like, sheesh. Like, that kind of sucks. So, oh my goodness. The teachers, they got it rough, man. Because it's like, what do you do when a student is hitting on you? You know what I mean? Like, what do you really do? It's like, you can call their parents, but if that don't work, then you try to get the people involved. That doesn't work. Woo! It's like, good luck at that point. My goodness. All right. So, let's see. My first year, I was 23. I taught seniors. I always heard talks about every girl in high school had a crush on me, especially my actual students. All year long, I heard about how so-and-so has a crush on you, and was always worried about being approached by one of my students once they started to turn 18. And coincidentally, not being sarcastic, I became single around this time as well. Well, all year long, nothing really occurred other than subtle flirting until prom season started to rear its head around the corner. So during class, one of the more popular / attractive girl raised her hand and asked me randomly, what kind of car do I drive? And I respond, why do you want to know? I usually respond to dumb / irrelevant questions during note taking because sometimes it may lead to a good example. I taught government / econ, and she responds with, oh, I just wanted to know what kind of car I was going to get picked up in prom in. What? So this little girl was just like, hey, teacher, what kind of car do you drive? And he's like, why do you want to know? And she's like, oh, just wondering because I want to know what kind of car I'm going to get picked up in for when you take me to prom. Like, you, the little girl, if you don't calm your stuff down, like, this is your teacher. What are you thinking? She out here talking about, yo, teacher, what car are you going to pick me up in? Oh, wow. Okay. God, I'm sweating for these teachers. My God, especially the guy teachers. Imagine how that looks. Dude, come on. Being a guy teacher and a little girl in class is out here talking about, oh, what kind of car are you going to pick me up in when you take me to prom? Like, I'm not picking you up in anything. I'm not picking you up in nothing. I'm going home. I ain't going to prom. Fuck out of here. What you talking about? Oh, my goodness. Oh, again, for the people who have just joined, this thread that we are going over is called Teachers. What is the time a student tried to seduce you? And my God, it's hard out here. It's hard out here for some teachers because, my goodness, these kids are a little brazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, let's get to the next teacher. This happened to me several times with the same girl. She was constantly failing. At the end of 6 weeks, would become flirty. Her biggest thing would be to ask if there was any way she could pass the 6 weeks and then press her breasts against my arm. Wow. Okay. Wow, she was just like, is there any way, any way at all I can pass this class? There's just any way, just let me know. You let me know. Oh my God, nothing came of it. She was a vile, disgusting young woman who I was continually repulsed by. Let's see, but nothing was ever done. The school and I worked as a low performing, and attendance was a huge issue, so they weren't about to suspend her. So there was nothing that he could do with this girl literally being like, hey, what can I do to, pass this class? Just let me know. Just let me know, and it's like, no. And then because I guess apparently the school is one of a low attendance type school, they were like, hey, you're just going to have to deal with it, my boy. He's like, Well, fuck me then. Oh my God. It's hard out here to be a teacher. My goodness. It is hard out here to be a teacher. Okay. Let's see. We'll go through probably like maybe 2 or 3 more teacher scenarios. Again, this thread is teachers. What is a time that a student has tried to seduce you? I was a substitute teacher a few years back. One night, I went to a party with some friends and ended up making out with a really cute blonde. A few days later, I was subbing for a high school class and should walk in. Oh, who should walk in but said blonde? She had neglected to say that she was in high school and certainly didn't look it. So this caught me by surprise. I was hoping nothing would be said, but as soon as the bell rang, her friend, who she had been whispering to, exclaimed, "You made out with the teacher." So much for subtlety. To make it worse, she was smiling and sending me texts throughout the entire class period saying, "You look really cute. When are we getting together again?" I never saw her again and nothing came of it, but it was about the most uncomfortable hour of my life. Oh my God. Imagine being a substitute teacher and you go out to a party. You're enjoying it, having a good time, boons and cats, and you meet a girl and you're like, dang, she's cute as hell. And you chopping her up, talking to her this and that. You get a little lip action, you know what I mean? And then next day you go into your job as a substitute teacher and you see her as a student. And you're like, no. And she's over here like, oh my goodness, you look so cute, and whispering to her friend, da, 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 da. And then her friend after class is just like, you made out with the teacher. Like, that would be embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Oh my gosh. That is embarrassing, man. All right, we'll go over 2 more. I had a student buy me a light up rose and an enormous fake diamond ring for Valentine's Day. He told me I could maybe just wear it or whatever. They're pretty young, so it's innocent. Parents, on the other hand, are not innocent. They've had a few that made some inappropriate phone calls and remarks. One even grabbed her butt. Wow. I had to have coworkers sitting during parent-teacher conferences just to be safe. What the heck? Oh, wow. That little boy was just like, hey, yo, teach, what's good? I got you a ring. You can wear it or whatever. I got you this rose. Like, okay. All right, then. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's see. We'll do our last one here. I've been teaching for nearly 20 years. The most seductive thing a student ever did was put her phone number on a quiz. Okay. I was teaching assistant in college, so I was 3 years older than her, and we were both legal adults. We dated for a few months. The following semester, once was no longer my student. We just weren't compatible and broke up. We were still Facebook friends. Full story, I was teaching biolab, so on and yada yada. The juice of it all is actually the fact that he dated this girl. I mean, I guess they were in college, so it wasn't like the other teachers where it was kind of like a thing where they were kind of underage, low-key, So it's not the fact that, like, he dated an underage girl or nothing. They were in college, thank goodness. Like, that was kind of scary. Oh my goodness. All right, but yeah, that's that thread. That is teachers. What is a time that a student has tried to seduce you? All right. Let's see. Let's get on to... All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and change gears. We're going to go ahead and move into our first scenario of the day. let's see, or of today's episode. All right, our first little scenario we have going on is I'm starting to get feelings for my husband's ex best friend. What should I do? Oh, wow. Okay. So, my husband, 28, and me, 25, are separated now because I found out he was cheating on me and had a daughter with one of the women. Okay. So she found out they're separated because she found out that he was cheating and had a daughter with another girl. A few months ago, he and his best friend had an argument about my husband being too friendly with his boyfriend's fresh ex. Or his best friend's fresh ex, I should say. Sorry. Best friend. Let's see. Now, they don't talk to each other ever since. Now I found out why. My husband had... okay. My husband fucked his best friend's ex-girlfriend. And the girl came clean when she got another chance. Now the issue is I started talking with that friend. Oh, Jesus. And we meet frequently because we have the same friend group. I started to realize that I start to feel something and I want to meet him more, but I don't know how to start or is it a good idea or not. I don't know what to do. Also, sorry, my English isn't first language. Okay. So the gist of it is pretty much her husband and her separated, and because she found out that he had a daughter with another girl, and then his ex-best friend, and his now ex-wife are doing the nasty together, which, wow, if I'm being honest with you, that's kind of scary. Yeah, that's kind of scary. At this, I don't know. I wouldn't really know how to feel about that. You know what I mean? If my ex-best friend was now dating my ex-wife, it's just like, on one hand, you're kind of like, fuck it. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to her. Forget y'all motherfuckers. But at the same time, it's like, you guys are, I don't know. At the same time, it's like, you were once my best friend and you were once my ex-wife. So how should I feel about that? You know what I mean? Like, were you guys always plotting and planning this? Was this like a backup plan for you? Did my homie always be interested in my wife? That's my thing. That's what I'm kind of trying to get at, if I'm being honest with you. That's a little scary. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. All right, let's get to the next one. All right, am I the asshole for being a little bit upset because my husband always rips off my lingerie? My husband works a high-stress finance job. There was a deal closing at his work, so his workload has been intense. We've barely seen each other, so we haven't had sex for a while. Since we're both tired by the time he gets home, today, he got home early and dragged me upstairs and ripped off my clothes. When he got to my lingerie, I told him to give me a second to take my bra off because I didn't want him to rip it since it's cute and expensive. I guess a little part of me wanted him to appreciate it for a moment as well. I couldn't get my bra off in time, so he just ripped it off. I didn't make a big deal about it, but I did tell him later that I was upset. He can never wait a few seconds for me to just take lingerie off. He told me he couldn't wait and it's just lingerie. He heard the price and choked on his water and then said he'll replace it. It's sold out. Damn, I wonder how much that lingerie costs. I mean, lingerie ain't cheap, but I wonder how much it costs. The fact that he's just like, oh, how much did it cost? What? How much? So like, huh? I mean, at the same time, kind of understand her. She's like, hey, I don't want you to like rip it off, because it's expensive. But at the same time, being a dude, I'm like, look, man, I've been at work. The nuts is full. I'm ready. like I'm ready. I don't know. I mean, if you were in the mood and you were ready, I mean, when you rip off your partner's clothes and just be like, here, let's get it right now. I am down and ready to go. I'm just saying. I don't know. That would be me. I don't know. You let me know. Let's see, to finish off the scenario. He told me he couldn't wait. It's sold out. He doesn't get why I was upset since it's not the only pair I have, but he does this every single time. After talking to him about it, he said he'll control himself so I won't have to keep buying the same thing twice. Am I the asshole for feeling upset about him doing that? I don't know. If I'm being honest with you, I get it. I can get why you're upset. I don't think you're necessarily the asshole because you're just kind of like saying, hey, yeah, I don't like when you do that. I appreciate the lingerie on my body because I'm doing it for you. But at the same time, like, I'm a guy. And if I'm ready to go, the nuts is full and she down, ready to go, hey, I'm down. Let's go. That's just me. I don't know. You guys let me know. All right, let's get into the next little scenario here. Guy ended things with me for someone else. I was talking to this guy for about 3 weeks, 2 dates with intense chemistry. We have known each other for years. He was texting me 24/7 saying how much he liked me all the time. I had a really good feeling about it. He suddenly went ghost overnight and ignored me for a day, for me to then wake up to a paragraph. Wow. Okay. He said he's seeing someone else and it's at the stage where he can't be talking to others anymore. But this is where it's weird. He then goes to say, I don't know if I'm making the right decision. I feel like I am really going to regret doing this and losing you. You are the most genuine person I've ever met. Like, sorry? I am so confused. And the poor other girl, to me, I'd rather be in the situation than have someone choose me, but feel like he will regret it. I replied wishing him the best. I feel like I could have reacted, but I just don't understand the message and contradiction. Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes a lot of sense because it's like, how you gonna be chatting up somebody, doing your thing, and then you ghost them for a couple days, and then all of a sudden you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go with this other person, and then you come back and you're like, wait, I kind of might regret it. You never know, like, I just might regret doing this, and I might want to do this. I don't know if I want to do this. It just seems like very disingenuous, and I don't think you can kind of come back from something like that, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like if you do come back from something like that, it's going to be a little difficult to kind of come back from something like that, just on the simple fact that it's like, you already kind of like made your bed, so you kind of got to lay in it. And good on her for not like going back to that dude, because that's just a little weird in my opinion. I don't know. You guys let me know. So, yeah, hey, like I said, let me know. All right, let's get into the next scenario. Can guys do hookups? 34 male. I just got out of a long-term relationship. I invested a lot into it, but things didn't work out in the end. Right now, I do not think I have the energy to put in another relationship yet. So, I am not looking to date. However, I am a man with a healthy libido so far. The first time in my life, I thought I'd try seeing people casually. I approached a few girls from social settings I am familiar but got rejected every time. Since I don't have experience with this and I tried asking people I know, unfortunately, I hardly know anyone who did this type of thing. From those I talked to, it seems that hooking up is just something that randomly happens once or twice simply because someone was into them without much input from their part. I do know 3 guys that have hooked up with girls many times and they are a bit different. One of them is really handsome, enough to be a model, and the other 2 have very extroverted, confident personalities. So I was thinking, is it possible for normal guys to hook up with girls, or is this something only really attractive guys get to do? If no, then what am I doing wrong? How should I approach girls for something like this? Oh man. That is kind of interesting, if I'm being honest with you. Because, I mean, if you look at, I would say, hookup culture, a lot of times it's kind of, mm, it's kind of a thing where it's like, um, it's a numbers game, especially for a guy. Like for a guy, it's kind of numbers game. You just have to like talk to a shit ton of girls. You know, you can't really sit there and just be like talking to one or two girls. And then, you know, you're kind of trying to gauge it, especially for what he wants. He's like, I just want to hook up, you know. Not a lot of girls are going to really be down for that, like right off the rip. So it's like you're going to kind of, you know, try to, how should I say it? You're going to kind of try to, how should I say it? It's a thing where not a lot of girls are going to be into just the hookup, you know? And so with that, you're going to be going from girl to girl to girl to girl to girl to girl, you know? You really are. You're going to be going from girl to girl to girl to girl to girl because not a lot of girls are really into like hooking up like that. They're not. You'll get your far few in between. You know, you can argue, nowadays it's a little different. I kind of think that depends on, you know, her attraction towards you like immediately and like off the rip. But if I'm being honest with you, it's a simple thing of like, I look at it like if you're trying to find girls to hook up with, I would just be straight up honest with them in the beginning. And if they're like, nah, I'm good, you just move on to the next one and you just keep it pushing. You know, I don't know. You guys let me know, guys out there and girls out there, you know, how should a guy, run hookup game? Because I wouldn't know. If I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't really know. I don't really do any of that. So like I said, I wouldn't really know. Hey. All right, let's get into the next one. Oh, let me try to find the next one. Da-da-da-da. Okay. I am pretty sure I was almost human trafficked. Wow, that sounds scary. Jesus. Okay. This takes place when I was 16 at the time. My teenage brain was not able to comprehend the situation. Looking back as an adult, my lord, I am so grateful I got out of the situation. I was approached by a much older man named Jason, approximately 40, and a woman named Amanda, approximately 40 as well, at the gym I regularly worked at. They complimented my physique and asked if I would be willing to teach them some workouts. I agreed. I showed them some machines that I used and walked them through the usual routine, answering their questions about how to do certain exercises. Such afterwards, they asked if they'd be interested in working out with them again. I said, sure. I saw them the next day around the same time. They joined me in my workout. We conversated in small talk. They seemed very friendly. They talked about their kids and families, all the things. At the end of our workout, Jason asked me if we could exchange numbers in case I wanted to work out with him again. Girl, you are 16. What are you doing? Like, you're 16. What are you doing? All right. I was 16. Like, you over here giving a 40-year-old dude your number? Like, come on, man. All right. Let's see. I saw them the next day around the same time. They joined me in my workout. We conversated in small talk. They seemed very friendly. They talked about their kids, families, all the things, so on and so forth. Okay, we read that part. They exchanged numbers. I was hesitant, which he sensed. He told me no worries, and that I thought, and that he never wanted to make me feel uncomfortable. I thought, what a respectful guy. 2 or so days later, I see them at the gym again around the same time. I approached them. This time I asked if they wanted to work out. We got to talk as usual, and the topic landed on cars. I told Jason what car I drove and how I was really hoping to get some colorful LEDs for underneath it, and he said he could totally do it for me for free, so we exchanged numbers to set up a time. All right. Smooth, wasn't he? Jason texted me a few days later and asked if I wanted to meet at a Starbucks to grab a coffee and check out my car to see what he needed to get to install the lights. I thought it was a little weird, but I agreed because I really wanted the lights done. We met at the Starbucks and he offered to buy me a drink. I said yes. He asked if I wanted to sit down and talk for a bit before he looked at the car. So we sat, drank coffee, talking about all the sorts of things. We got into deep conversation. Before we got up, he proceeds to say, look, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but I think you're awesome. I enjoyed talking with you a lot. I know this is crazy, but I have a favor to ask you. Oh, man. I asked what it was, and he said, Amanda is going out of town, and I am supposed to attend a wedding this week. I need a +1, and Amanda suggests that I asked you to go. She thinks you're awesome as well, plus I figured this could be your payment for the car, sort of. That kind of sounds sketchy. Remember, this is a 40-year-old dude talking to a 16-year-old girl. Kind of sketchy a little bit. All right. He then proceeds to show me the fancy hotel it was at, said he'd buy me a dress if needed, etc. I said I would think about it and get back with him. He checked out the car and I left soon after. I never talked to him again because the warning signs were finally going off in my head. Never saw him at the gym again. I cannot imagine what would have happened if I went. Yeah. Imagine if you went. That is scary as hell. A 40-year-old dude over here asking a 16-year-old girl, talking about, oh yeah, come to this wedding with me. You never know. Like, my wife said it was okay, and she is conveniently out of town, and it's at a hotel, and I'm like, girl, fuck no. I'm glad the red flags were going off because she could have gotten to some weird altercation situation. You never know. Like a 40-year-old and 16, like that's kind of. All right, on to our next scenario. This isn't a my asshole scenario. Airbnb landlord implied sex. What would you do? I am traveling around Spain at the moment and landed in Zaragawa, where they don't speak English well at all. My Airbnb landlord is around 65, 70 years old, male. As a guest of his age, he's retired. I'm in my 20s, female. His English isn't perfect. I spent 2 days in his Airbnb. On the first day, he toured me around the city on foot and told me that the next day he was going to Valencia, so won't see me, and gave me a hug and a big kiss on the cheek. All right, when in Europe, I guess, huh? A little awkward, but okay. The next day, he messaged me saying that he's coming back early from Valencia and we can stay chatting in the evening. The evening comes and he cooked a meal for me and the other woman staying in the Airbnb. Very nice of him. All good so far. When the other woman / flatmate went to sleep, he proceeded to ask me, did you sleep well? Was the bed comfy? Is it okay for one person, or for two, is it too small? We try. Do you want to try my room maybe? That kind of sounds like he's like, hey, you want to lay in the bed with me? You, me, bedtime, bed fun. His room is a double bed, while my guest room was a single bed. Then I told him no, with a small giggle to make things less awkward, and I sat on the bed and pretended to play around with my backpack waiting for him to leave, but he just stayed in the doorway, staring at me. Very small room, so nowhere else I could sit except for on the edge of the bed. He was really being nice until this. Am I overthinking? I'm really disgusted by this because I was really happy to give him a great review until this. Would you have understood it the same as I did? And what would you do if you were me? Today he messaged me saying, I'm always welcome to this Airbnb. I'm not even going to reply. I'm just upset that he was being fake nice. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I think he was trying to smash this young girl. He was just like, man, hey, you, me, we go to the bed. And you want to see bed fit two people? Like, he got broken English, but I mean, I want to smash is pretty universal in all languages. If I'm being honest with you, you only need a small amount of words to be like, yo, you want to smash? You only need, just that much English. And, he was giving off all the signs. He stood in the doorway and everything. He was just like, so yeah, you, me, go bed? Go bed and do ting? Hey, I don't know. You guys let me know. What'd you think? Was he trying to smash, or was he just being a weird little 60, 70-year-old dude? Because I think that motherfucker's trying to smash. I ain't gonna lie to you, but hey, that's just me. That's just me. Okay. All right, let's get into this scenario. This will be our second to last scenario before we go ahead and close it out. Am I wrong for wanting to go to a bar with my coworker even though I know his intentions are to sleep with me? Okay. Man, I feel like these girls be putting themselves in some crazy positions. Like, what are you guys doing? But hey, it is what it is. I can't really tell if what I'm doing is normal or completely out of line somehow, so I'm coming here for help. I, 28 male, have worked at my job for a while now. For 3 years straight, I was under unfathomable amount of stress because I was doing a 2-person job all by myself. But finally 6 months ago, they hired someone to work with me. Let's call him Al. For context, I'm not Al's boss, nor is Al my boss. We just both work in the same position. I mean, this is the nicest way possible, but from day one, it was clear he wasn't straight, which I didn't really mind at all. I was more focused on building a good relationship with him since our job requires a lot of teamwork, and genuinely, he's an amazing guy. A month into the job, he started flirting with me, nothing major at all, just normal compliments. It was very clear they weren't platonic though. I honestly didn't mind it at all. I myself am straight, but I didn't mind anything he said because it never made me feel uncomfortable or cross my boundaries. I didn't feel the need to report him to HR because the stuff he was saying wasn't necessarily inappropriate. Definitely flirty, but not inappropriate. All right. And he always said them at appropriate times. Also, I asked around and he hadn't been just saying this kind of stuff to anyone else in the workplace. So he was only saying it to me. So I was comfortable. About a week ago, he started to get more risky with his compliments. Oh, he was risking it for the biscuit. He was just like, man, I got to turn the spice up for this girl. Let me see what I can get myself into. You know what I mean? A little ha ha ha. Let's see, getting more risky with his compliments. Stuff with clear sexual undertones that couldn't ever fly over your head. It seemed like he was trying to test the waters, basically seeing where my boundaries stood. Again, I didn't. He never said these things while we were around anyone else. He never said these things while we were actually working. But when we were working, it was completely professional. But on break is when that man got saucy. He said, "Hey, baby, how you doing? We on that break. Can I eat lunch with you?" Shit. I didn't mind, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. A few days ago, he asked me if I wanted to go to a bar with him on Friday. Now, with how he had been acting the past week and the tone of the question, I knew exactly what his intentions were. For context, now I don't think he is going to drug me or anything like that, but he's a flirt, but also a normal person. Any boundary that I've set, he's never crossed and always respected it and always corrected people who then crossed said boundary. So no, he isn't somebody who'd do that. And I think he's more wishing of a drunken hookup situation. Yeah, this man's banking on that. He's like, man, I got to get the bread right so that way I can get this girl as many drinks as possible. Praying it only takes 3 because them bitches are expensive. You know what I'm talking about. And to be honest, I want to go. I'm certain he won't succeed in his seduction, but he's a genuinely amazing guy to talk to. And as someone who enjoys drinking, I wouldn't mind sharing a couple drinks with him. I told this to my friend and he asked me what the fuck was wrong with him. In his words, why would I want to go to a bar with someone whose clear intention are to sleep with me? He called me insane for even considering going. So, am I the asshole for going? Fuck no. I wouldn't think so. And my thing is I think she actually likes the guy, if I'm being honest with you. Just the fact that she's contemplating going. She knows the intentions. She knows that, hey, homeboy wants to sleep with me. He's been, chatting me just right. He doesn't act weird or go overboard or nothing like that. He be attacking her just right. He be, saying the right things in the right way. And then he was like, hey, I'm going to shoot my shot and be like, yo, do you want to go to the bar? She said yes. So as a dude, I'd kind of look at it like, I mean, you going just kind of seems like you want to, you want to see if it's going to go somewhere. That's how I feel about it. She kind of wants to see if it's going to go somewhere. She wants to see if it's going to go somewhere, to see what she's going to do, and, see if she wants to keep going, because I think she's attracted to him enough to be like, I'm going to give him a shot. Why not? Because I don't think a girl who is actually repulsed by, a guy hitting on her and talking to her and stuff like that, and then him being like, hey, do you want to go somewhere? I don't think she would go. She would probably just be like, nah, I'm good. Like, thanks though. You know what I mean? It was a nice suggestion or whatever. But I think she's like, there's something, here I could probably get with, I don't know. You guys let me know. What do you think? Was homeboy, getting it right? Was she actually liking him or not? I don't know. The world may never know. All right, we're going to have one more situation, and then we're going to go ahead and close this thing out. Thank you to all the people who are chilling in the live, or who came into the live, popped in, checked out a couple scenarios and popped out. Thank you guys. I don't expect you guys to stay the whole time. I really don't. I expect you guys to just pop in, show some love, and then pop out and carry on with your day. I ain't going to lie to you. So thank you so much for being here, and all the people who were here. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into this last one. Let's see. Okay. Oh, no. Where is it? Here it is. Oh. Okay, last scenario we got. Am I the asshole for being upset about my wife's fantasies? All right, let's see what kind of fantasies she's got. I've done an episode before about like women's fantasies that they'll never tell their husbands. I would check that episode out. Wildest shit have you ever heard. I mean, they're like, I want to tie my man up and put him on his knees and make him beg for this coochie and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know what he's upset about, but I don't know what kind of fantasies she's got at the same time. You know what I mean? So we'll see. All right. I, 24 male, was recently asked by my wife for 4 years my opinions on threesomes. Okay. I was honest with her, and I said I would possibly be open to it in the future, like in our 30s. She asked, what about it appealed to me? And I said watching her with another woman would be a huge turn on, as well as working as a team to please someone else. She then asked how I felt about having it with another guy. Oh, okay. I can see why he's upset now, because he was thinking like, oh yeah, oh, threesomes, babe. Oh yeah, most definitely. If it's another girl, I got you. I would love it. And she's like, but what about another guy? And he's like, oh, fuck no. I can't do that. I don't know. We'll keep reading. We'll see. I said it would be less interesting for me, but as long as we talked about boundaries, it wouldn't be an issue. And if it was with someone that I trusted, it could be enjoyable. What is bothering me is when I asked her what she thought, she said it was a fantasy of hers to have sex with 2 guys. Oh my God. With 2 men, but she wouldn't be able to do it with me. And she said it would kind of make me a cuck if I was just watching. And it's weird if I want to be there and have sex with her as well. She's performing sexual acts on somebody else. I told her I would never be comfortable with her having sex with another man alone, nor would I want her to do so with another woman. It is wrong that I feel hurt she would want to do this with me. I also find it strange she would refer to having a threesome with me and another man as being a cuck, because I would be doing it for a little adventure, not for a fetish of being ashamed or humiliated. I mean, if you don't participate, I mean, the fact that you're okay with another dude going in your girl, woof. I mean, good luck on you, brother man. I couldn't do it. You're a bigger man than I am. I ain't gonna lie to you. I couldn't do it. I'd have been like, nah. And that's why for me, personally, with my significant other, I'd never be like, yo, let's do threesome. Nope, that's too messy. That's too messy. I'd be like, look, man, it'll just never happen in my, like, as long as I am with my significant other, I'm just like, it will never happen. Forget it. It ain't ever happened. I might as well just get that out of my mind right now, because she wouldn't want to see me with another woman, and I wouldn't want to see her with another guy. So it's like, yeah, nope. I'm not even going to agree to it. Like, his mistake was agreeing to it, being like, oh yeah, sure. I mean, if it was you and another girl, fantastic. And that's where he fucked up. Let's be honest here. That's where he fucked up big time, because he could have easily just been like, nah, babe, I'm good, because he knew where it was going. You knew where it was going. You knew it was going to get into the territory of her being like, hey, what if it was another guy? And she's going to start with like, hey, what if it's me and another girl? Just kind of get you into it. And then she's going to be like, well, what about a guy? I mean, yeah. And then another thing is, man, I would, if I agreed to something like that and his stroke game is better than mine, I would cry. I would walk out that bitch. I would cry. I'd be like, just leave me. Just leave me. I don't want to be here anymore. Oh my God. Just leave me. I'm done. I'm good on that, man. I don't even want to deal with that anymore. Oh my God. But yeah, that is going to conclude today's episode and everything. If you are just joining at the end, I am sorry. The clips for this episode will go up on TikTok, so you can watch them if you are interested, as well as Am I the Asshole podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube will have this episode. It'll come out like today, so you can watch back through the thread and all that other stuff. But thank you for being in the live, though. I appreciate that. And even if you don't stay the whole time, it's all good. I got you. I'm just glad people popped in, said what's up, popped out, and on with their day. I feel like that's what this is for. Another way for people to just kind of connect with the scenarios and stuff, because we cover a lot of wild shit on this podcast, if I'm being honest with you. And so the fact that I'd be able to get to share it live is kind of cool, even if you just pop in and pop out. So I appreciate that so much. Let me see here. All right. Ooh. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay. Well, I just ended the live. Sorry, I was messing with it. I kind of didn't know how to do it. But this is for you recorded guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. The live, this was my first time doing something live, so I was extremely nervous, if I'm being honest with you. And this is something I don't normally do. But, I'm trying to get into it every Sunday, man. I'm trying to get into it and do this for you guys. Please keep supporting the show and showing your support and everything like that. But yeah, man, that's going to be it. I thank you guys so much. Peace. Love you.